Okay. So I kid you not, our internet went down. It's just unbelievable how that happens, specifically during the streams, you know. Like we had the entire week to have an internet issue, and it was all good. But anyway, okay, so trying to come back to what happened, like I don't even recall what I was talking about. Let me just at least say in the you're back. So yeah, life. No, just kidding. So yeah, we were talking about the early access, right? Yeah, that was it. So right before we had this internet issue and disconnection, all that kind of stuff, we were talking about the early access, right? So we had that intention of releasing the game in early access before, like right in the beginning of the project. Then we kind of changed our mind because we thought, I'm not quite sure where the stream stopped, because it took quite a while for me to actually realize the computer was not connected to the internet anymore. And so I'm just kind of, you know, recapping here. So yeah, once we thought about, like, oh, come on, you know, we're used to releasing games like once, and just, you know, dealing with all those, like, hype building and the marketing push that we normally have to do. So we were like thinking about that and like wondering if the early access process wouldn't kill that moment, you know, that that push wouldn't prevent us from reaching people and from actually, you know, getting enough players to you know, make the game alive somehow. And we thought about that. Like we had partially decided to not go forward with the early access program. Like we thought it wasn't worthy. It was gonna kill all the emotion behind the release of the game. Like once you release a game in early access, like you can't get back, or at least it's hard to get back that like all the mobility that, you know, goes behind the not mobility, actually it's not that the term, but anyway, all that energy, you know, that actually gets released once you've been developing a game in a closed manner somehow, and then you actually release it. Okay, so we thought of that. Like we were like, oh, come on, no, it's not gonna be good. It's gonna hurt our reach is gonna, you know, reach less players, and it's just not worth it. And what we discovered, and we actually decided these 2 weeks, was that, like, nowadays, and I mean, it was always important, but nowadays people are actually realizing how important it is to develop games with the community participation. And we had that in mind, and we wanted to make that, like, it's what we really want to the project. And we just, you know, we weren't getting to the point in which we had enough feedback and enough players testing the game to actually guide, you know, the development of the game by the players and by the community. And when you know, when you think about it as a different scope, and talking about people, talking with people at GDC and watching their talks, we just realized that like we actually have a better chance of reaching more people opening the game to early access than the other way around. And especially now that a lot of games are released in one day, so it turns out the release day is not as important as it was before, unless you're like a AAA company that is gonna spend like more time, more money on marketing than on developing the game itself. But if you're not that person, you know, if you're not part of that industry, like that cut of the industry, you're probably not gonna have such a spectacular release day, you know. And by spectacular, I mean like you're not gonna reach that much of a people, like of a player base. And we want that, you know. We want people trying our game. We want people telling us what it is, what they thought of it, and how they liked it, and what could have been better. You know, we want this, and we decided collectively to go forth with the early access campaign. What does it mean to be in early access for us now? It means it's gonna you know, some changes in our development cycle are gonna happen, and we're planning on implementing those changes in the near future. Like, we're already changing some things, and we're gonna keep changing them until we get to the point of releasing the game and having all those logics behind it working. So what is the idea behind this? Okay, so first thing that's gonna change is the live stream. Okay, so the live stream day moved from Wednesday to Thursday, because we didn't have, like, we wouldn't have in this new cycle we wouldn't have time to actually stream 2 times a week. And that might seem like not counterintuitive, but it's actually because we're gonna have to enhance our communications a lot with the new model of working, you know. Eventually, when we release the game in early access, we plan on like communicating with the community and with the players way more frequently and with more details, and, you know, pushing up not devlogs, but change logs, and, you know, getting people feedback and actually processing those feedbacks and getting those inside of our workflow. So all of that is gonna like take a lot of time, not only to prepare for those moments of communication, but also to be, you know, always present, to keep an eye out with on what people are saying about the game. And that demand, you know, that time demand that we don't have at the moment is gonna like make it almost impossible for us to stream more than once a week. Like I would probably go crazy trying to fit it all in my time. The team would go crazy as well. So we thought it wouldn't help anyone, you know. Like, we would be streaming more, and being completely honest, I loved streaming more. Like, streaming twice a week was pretty cool. I enjoyed it a lot to be here talking to you, and you know, making these videos and getting to that flow of live streaming, recording, releasing, and every week. It was pretty cool. But it's just not gonna be good for anyone. It was gonna like generate a lot of stress. So we decided to not only stream once a week, but also change a little bit the subject of the streams, like how they work, obviously, because, you know, we had way more time to distribute the subjects that we wanted to cover on 2 days a week. Now we have only one, and we changed the day so it could fit better in our workflow. I'm gonna explain you how that works. Okay, so the idea is now we have lives on Thursdays at 5 p.m. BR time, like Brazilian time zone, which converts to, I don't know, I would have to open the link of the converter here, but it converts to basically now in your time zone if you're watching this. And if you're watching this later, I guess we posted on Twitter a link of a time converter, so you can just Google it to find out what time it is that you can watch the live stream being recorded, right? Like happening in your time zone. Okay, so yeah, we changed to that moment, to that time, because we want to have cycles of 2 weeks of development. We already have that, okay, so it's not that new, but we kind of had to fit the release of a build, like the wrap up of a build, releasing it, waiting for feedback on the beta version, and then releasing the final version and preparing all the patch notes and all the assets that we need for that release, everything in 2 weeks. That's something new for us. Like we usually release a new build every 2-3 months maybe. So yeah, that's gonna change a lot. We're gonna have more updates, and we're gonna have them delivered to the community more frequently. And well, yeah, so that's that. Now the live stream is both for communicating with you and for updating on what we're gonna do with the game in a more streamlined way. We're gonna have it more guided, and to be playing the game here with you and showing the changes, and possibly playing it with other people, to have more interesting ways to show the changes of the game to you. And we're gonna have also, like, every 2 weeks we're gonna have this update live that we normally have, and it's just gonna be more structured. And then on the other week, like alternating, we're gonna have a random live, which sometimes may be the interview with a member of the community, the team, like we did with with Marcos, with Bruno, Hugo, like we're gonna eventually bring someone from the team here to chat about what they're doing in the development of the game and how it is to work with that, like we did sometimes already. We're gonna have live streams about our older games, like every time we have an update. For example, we have a live stream that we want to make, we want to record about the language workshop update for Galaxy. It has released, like it was released maybe 2 weeks ago. I don't know, it's been a long time already, but we do want to explain better the instructions and to go step by step, like creating a new language translation for the game on live, like in live, just to show you how it's done, and to like demystify, make it easier for you to actually put the game into your language if you want to, or your group, of people to do so yeah, alternating update on Outer Space and the patch notes and all that stuff, and the random live stream, which you can, like, about the random live stream, you can always suggest topics. All right, so remember that, like, every time we live stream a random subject, you can just say, oh, I'd wish to see that kind of content being streamed, or oh, it would be cool just to know if you're doing this or that, or to know about that or the other game. I don't know. You can always suggest things for us to stream on the random stream day. Okay, so and about the changes on Discord, what is happening there? So basically, we're gonna mold the Discord server so it works best with the new model of working that we're working on. You know, so now that we have this very closed cycles of 2 weeks with a lot of things to be done, and we're gonna have builds being released more frequently. We're gonna have the beta branch of the game. It's gonna be way more important for the development of the team. We're just gonna, you know, change the Discord server to fit all those needs. So one thing that's new is like we have an early access for our space and an announcement channel. Like we have an announcement for the early access, and we have a bug report, and we have the beta branch on Discord. Let me just read the names of it so that you don't get confused. So it's Outer Space Early Access, Outer Space Beta Branch, and Outer Space Bug Report. And what are the purposes of these channels, these new channels? It's pretty clear, right? But the idea behind them is like you should be able to talk about specifically what you want, and we should be able to communicate what we want to you in those specific channels. The early access announcements is going to serve for us to tell you about those patch notes, to actually announce releases and the builds that are public on the main branch, so that everybody that has the game or has access to it somehow can play it. And you can talk about that build specifically there, you know. We also have, like, you can comment all the updates and things like that. We also have the beta branch, which is basically the channel focused on communication between the beta testers. And by beta testers, I mean those that choose to actually play the game in the beta branch. So how's the flow gonna be? We're gonna work for 2 weeks, actually 1.5 weeks. We're gonna start a sprint on Wednesday. By sprint, understand like the cycle of development. Okay, so we're gonna have like multiple 2-week cycles. We're gonna start it at Monday. We're gonna work the whole week and then start the next week and finish working on Wednesday. That's the ideal. Once we get there, we need to actually build the game. So Thursday is gonna be the day build, the build day. We're gonna play the game. We're gonna see if it's working, see if it's not broken somehow, fix anything that has to be fixed, make the build, and release the build on the beta branch on Steam, for now at least. And once on beta branch, like, we want the beta branch to be always accessible for anyone that wants it. So if you like testing games, there may be a little bit buggy, or there may be you know, you like testing it before the rest of the community, you might just join the beta branch. We're not going to put any kind of password in it, and the idea is that everyone that's playing the game on the beta branch can have that channel, the beta branch channel, to talk about the build, like say, oh, this is not cool, or I didn't like this, or I liked this a lot. And, you know, comment on like things that can help us polish a little bit of that build before Friday, like on the next day. And on Friday we're gonna release the build for everyone. And if it's a huge update, for example, if it's an update with a lot of content, you know, or a lot of interesting features for the players. We're gonna make an cute announcement of it, like with illustrations and things like that. So we also have to fit that time of working in those updates within the time period that we have. So it's very, very, very important that we have an engaged community on Beta Branch, so that we have people testing the game, and then we can fix the game for them, and then we can make it better or change a balance in some things depending on the feedbacks. And eventually that build, not eventually, on the next day, that build is going to be released to everyone that has access to the early access game, the regular version. And that people is like everyone else is gonna play the game until we release the next build, which is gonna be 2 weeks later. So yeah, people that want to join the Beta Branch, like they just like testing the game beforehand, they can just, you know, feel a little bit more responsible now, because well, your feedback's gonna be what people play on the next 2 weeks. So it's going to be a very close title of release beta, feedback, change, release full, get feedbacks, and, you know, change for the next, and all the kind of things. So we were very excited with this. We want to have more feedbacks all the time. We can't get enough of it. We just think that the game becomes way better when you know what the people want to play, and when you get their opinions on the game. So especially, you know, the members of the community, but we now realize that not everybody has this openness to you know, actually install Discord and to be, you know, participating and debating every day or sometimes a week. So we want to open the game in early process of development to those people as well, like to those who are not necessarily the bulk of the community, but they still have something interesting to say nonetheless. So that's it. That's basically it. Those are the changes. New channels on Discord, new day on live stream, and this new early access thing it's being huge for us. Like we're very excited about it, and you know, trying to make it all work out. We want that early access release to be pretty, you know, low profile. Like we don't want to push PR things to everyone else. We just want to make the game open and accessible for everyone, and to get into this very fast cycle of developing, releasing, getting feedback, and all that kind of stuff. So that's it. Well, just to to complete what I have to say, I just gotta thank everyone in the community, like for real, for participating on, you know, this family. Like we learned a lot with those feedbacks that you've given us, and it was a huge help with every build that we wanted to test. May it be with GOP, may it be with Outer Space. Like whenever we needed to know how people felt playing the game, you guys were there, and it is awesome to count on you for this kind of help. You know, we just feel like the game always gets better every time you guys give us feedbacks, and we have the opportunity to actually understand what you want from the game, and we just want to make it better, you know. So thank you all for being there, for helping us with the development of Outer Space so far, and we really hope that the community can have even more things to say and more space to say those things now that we get into early access. When we get into early access, that's not going to take that long. So yeah, thank you all. Thanks for watching as well. If you're not part of the community, remember it's pretty easy. It's just get into Discord, and it's discord.gg/Behold Studios. So it's pretty easy to get into, and we always talk about the games that we're developing there, our plans for the future, and we chat about random stuff as well, because you know, it's a pretty likable and healthy community there that we have, and thanks to, you know, the members of the community, obviously. And well, thank you all for watching. I hope this clarifies a little bit of what's happening, what's going behind the curtains, you know, like things might have seemed crazy with all those stream date changes and new channels and new things on Discord, but it's all gonna be fine, you know. It's all gonna keep on getting better, and we just want to make our process even more open for you. So that's it. I see you all on the next Thursday, and I hope to talk to you on our Discord as well during the week. We're always there, present for you. All right, see you later, and thanks for coming. Oh, thanks for dealing with the internet problem. You know, I know it's very anticlimactic to be watching a live stream and then it disconnects from out of nowhere and then it comes back. But yeah, thanks for coming back. So see you later.